Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Elliot. So I believe you're live right now.
We are. So, hello, and my name is Elliot, and I'm here today with Anjay, and we're going to be talking about landing pages, the company Landingi, and LiveWebinar, and how you can integrate those two together. So before we continue, just like to say a few things about the webinar itself, so some more information. So just let us know if you can hear us, myself and Anjay, by typing it in the chat box in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And if you can, hear me as well, just let us know. Mache and Ola will be the chat moderators today, and Mache will be answering any questions at the end for the live webinar side.
Exactly. So, guys, please let us know if you can hear us, if you can see us. We're also streaming live on Landingi's Facebook page, LinkedIn page, and YouTube channel. So that'd be great to get to know if we are all good here to go. So write in the comments below or in the chat. That would be great to know.
Yep, and also live on LiveWebinar's YouTube channel as well. So let's see if that is all working and running smoothly on that side. So if we go through the chat here, let us know where you're from. I see Robert from Stuttgart. Hello. Hi, Fernando. I was going to say hi, Mache, but yes, hello.
Mache is always welcome.
Yes. Hi, Helen. Hi, Ken. Hi, Mike. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Precious. Hi, Dave. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Julio, Mark, Monty, Gaston. Lots of people today.
Yeah, that's good to know. Good to see you all here.
It's awesome. It's always really good to have more people, because sometimes I've been on a couple of streams myself talking to one person. So the more the merrier.
So it's like a one-on-one demo. So.
Oh yeah, you get an exclusive.
Exactly. So it's luxury.
Okay, so we'll just wait a couple more minutes just to see if there's any more people joining, because I can hear the little ding as people are entering. So we don't want to start prematurely before somebody will miss the introduction.
Yeah, and just to let you know, guys, if you have any questions, just write them in the chat or in the comments section. So we'll answer these questions after our presentation. So feel free to ask anything, almost anything.
Yep, I second that as well. All right, just a minute more. Hello, Kinga and Abul Fadl. Hello. I hope I said that correctly as well, because I'm quite a stickler when it comes to getting my name spelled and said correctly, as a lot of people spell it incorrectly. Andre, do you have the same with your name? Do people spell it incorrectly?
Yeah, it's troublemaker for foreigners.
Because the English name would be, is it Andrew, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
this could be like a replacement, but I somehow think that maybe names shouldn't be translated because a given name is a name. So
I agree too. I couldn't agree more. All right, would you like to kick this off now? Shall we get the show on the road?
yeah, let's go.
All right. So hello, everyone. So my name is Elliot, as I have just mentioned a bunch of times. I'm the content creator and marketing specialist here at LiveWebinar. And today I'd like to talk about promoting your webinars through landing pages, specifically with Landingi. So it's very simple to integrate between Landingi and LiveWebinar, as a demo will be shown towards the end of this presentation. So Landingi is a powerful and simple landing page builder, and personally, that's my go-to for creating landing pages. So how am I going to blow you all away today? Now, I believe that is a high bar I have set, but I believe that throughout this webinar, you might leave here either shocked or at least more knowledgeable about the integration between the two. So you will learn about when to start the promotion, the 5 main channels of promotion, 3 tactics of worth checking out, and a short demo of this integration after a presentation from Anjay. The perfect idea for a webinar should be enough, right? Don't you think? What do you think, Anjay?
Yeah, I mean, this is not that simple, I'd say. So there are many factors that count in as a factor for successful webinar. So the idea is you have to have the idea. That's obvious, but also the audience, the title of the webinar, the topics that you'll cover, it's all important. So you have to find the right match, and most of all, find the right value that you will deliver to your audience. So I think this is the most important part here.
All right. So yeah, also the correct promotional method is also vital. So, Anjay, when do you think the best time to actually start promoting a webinar, as it could be controversial?
There's a lot of controversy in this one, but I'd say 2 to 1 weeks before. This is what we usually do here at Landingi. So 2 weeks, maybe 1 week before. What is, I think, worth to mention here is that if you also stream to social media platforms, some of the platforms don't allow you to schedule the stream faster than 7 days before the actual event. So this could be also, some of the factors here. But so I'd say 2, maybe 1. That would be my answer.
Okay. And whilst that's also, mulling over in the audience, who else believes that it should be between the second to first week prior to the going live? Because I also have done some streams myself, and yes, you're correct. In some of the platforms, you are unable to schedule prior, earlier than that, which is great and also a little bit frustrating sometimes, because if you're a person like me who likes to have a full calendar, you can't do that. So for anyone that has been thinking about it but is too scared to write, of course, it would be in that last week. But surprisingly, it is 33% are actually on the last day. Okay, so we had a 1 week. 15 days. Okay.
The winner.
The winner. Winner, chicken dinner.
Exactly.
The 5 channels of promotion. Now, before I move to the next slide, who can guess which is number 1? Be quick. I won't wait too long. Anjay, what do you think? Off the top of your head, what do you think could be?
I know the answer because I've seen your slides before. So
yeah.
maybe I'll drop on this competition here right now. I'd say social media could be decent. It also depends, on the industry you operate in, on your persona. But I think this could work pretty well, especially in the B2C space, maybe B2B too.
Ever since the global event, I would say brick and mortar stores have kind of took a massive hit and had moved online. So you'd be correct in saying that social media is one of the 5, and I would say, in my personal opinion, it is the golden one, because there are so many social media platforms out there with so many different audiences on the platforms. So people that would be using Pinterest might not be using Snapchat, and people who are using Snapchat might not be using Facebook because they may believe it could be not for them anymore. So does anybody here use any specific social media? Actually, Anjay, which social medias are Landingi using?
Definitely Facebook and LinkedIn are top two, I'd say. I think we are also pretty active on YouTube.
Mhm.
But these two, we are B2B, so especially LinkedIn is very valuable for us. So these two would be like the best one for us.
Yeah, so for LiveWebinar, it would be LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube as well. Obviously, the business ones.
Yep.
My personal, I use all of them. But Snapchat's a little bit one I still can't quite figure out. But I would say keeping up with the trends if you are wanting to host your own webinars or paid webinars, keeping up with the curve. So TikTok is something that is, shouldn't be taken, shouldn't be taken quite lightly anymore, as people just thought it was dancing in the beginning, and then it's actually a huge tool for boosting sales and converting people to go from where they were before. So also we got to utilize the communities, so the local communities as well. So the offline people that would be able to, get the word around, whether it be flyers in your area or, word of mouth or friends, their network, their circles. There's the old saying of bad publicity is still publicity. So it's sometimes better to have, a good premise and something in good stead to be able to promote towards additional networks. Also, partnerships, signing up with brands or influencers or the like to make sure that the reach can be as far as possible. Do you believe partnerships are more important than communities, or vice versa, Anjay?
I think it's combined. I mean, it's
Mhm.
good to have a community of partners. So that'll be like the also good solution or a strong background or foundation for your, all marketing activities. So I would join these two. I wouldn't divide it like which one is better. I think both are important, especially in the B2B space. So no betting here.
Okay. Of course, a strong contender is email marketing. Been around for years, tried, true, and tested. It's still one of the most, I believe, one of the most efficient and free ways to get the word out for, either if you have a small newsletter list or a large database. It's still I would say, a fundamental part. Would you agree with that, or you got something else?
Yeah, definitely. Having your audience as your email base is definitely something good. But I would like to point out something here.
Mm-hmm.
If you already have an email and you invite your audience through email to the webinar, very often companies asked for example, for an email address once again, which is actually not necessary because you already have the email. So I think this could be a good moment to ask for some other data, maybe phone number, So why not build more, comprehensive profile of your audience with this progressive profiling? So if you already have their email addresses, invite them to the webinar, but maybe collect phone number just to make the profile more, complete.
Okay. Yeah. Personally, I wouldn't give out my phone number because I prefer not to receive SMSs. So I keep my emails, just keep it all, business related stuff in an email thing. But yes, that's also a very good
Yeah, I mean, it
approach.
doesn't have to be necessarily an email. You could segment your base this way. So ask for an industry, ask how many employees your company have, different stuff that will help you to segment your email base.
Aha, not just keeping the emails.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And that would move on to the fifth channel there, which would be, of course, PPC ads. Now, Anjay, are you a firm believer of PPC ads, or?
I think they are very important in the marketing channels, among marketing channels. And to be specific about the webinars, I know a real case where actually Google Ads performed very well when it came to inviting people to the webinar. So here's the story. a coaching business, a well-known brand in Poland, was trying to get as many people on webinar as possible. So they used their brand keywords and targeted people that already visited their website or landing pages, so they knew the brand. And when someone entered this keyword into the search engine, the PPC ad inviting the audience to the webinar popped out, and it was like very good match, up to date, with good conditions, because people could buy stuff during the webinar in a really good prices. So there was like win-win, plus the campaign was really cheap and cost effective. So that's the case I know, and I think many companies could use this case in their marketing.
All right. Yeah, I think that's actually a very good point there as well. All right, so moving on. So in our experience, as much as 80% of these registrants come from those email marketing efforts. So as you were saying about gathering additional data as well, majority of the people that are signing up. I assume that majority of you in the audience today have come through the email marketing. Let us know if you came through anywhere else or if you've come through email marketing. So the 3 non-standard tactics here would be SEO and automated webinars. So if the webinar is evergreen content, you can take advantage of the benefits of SEO and create an automatic lead generation mechanism for yourself. Second tactic would be URL to registration in footer and responders. So it's a classic growth hacking trick, and it's worth using, especially if you have a large team interacting with customers daily. And third and final would be remarketing of the undecided. So building a remarketing group based on people who looked at the landing page but ultimately did not sign up for the event, such as if you were hovering over an item in the cart or at a website and were thinking about checking out but ultimately decided against it. You could then target for those people to come back again and potentially remarket those ideas to them. So before I hand over to Andrzej, I would just like to point out that we have a promo code today for the code is valid for the entire month of August, and that code is WebJewel20, and it's a 20% discount for each paid plan throughout the month of August. One of the moderators will put it in the chat, the code for promotion for the paid plans. So with that, Andrzej, please take it away.
Thank you, Elliot. That was a great introduction. Let me just share my screen here. Yep. Can you see my screen?
I can, yes. Can everybody else?
Perfect. Let me just switch to my presentation. Yeah, and we are good to go. So today I'll talk about effective landing pages for your webinars. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Andrzej, and I am a CMO at Landingi, currently in the company for a long time. As you can see, I started as a web designer. Then I was supervising services, lead generation services for our customers. So I've seen a lot of landing pages in my life. I've designed a lot of landing pages in my life, so I can tell you a little bit more about them. So let's go. And during my presentation, I want to, first of all, briefly tell you about landing pages, what they are, how to think about them. Then I would like to point out what kind of elements should an effective landing page have. Then I'll tell you a little bit more about how to improve your conversion rates. And after that, let me just show you really quick how you can build really fast and easily landing pages for your webinar. So we are good to go. So first of all, my question is, have you encountered these phrases, these terms, these keywords, I would say. So squeeze page, splash page, one pager, landing page. Probably yes. I'm sure you've seen them on your Google Analytics report. So there is this kind of report named landing pages, which by definition is a landing page is the first site or first page people land on after interacting with your ad, with your social media posts, with your email. So basically the first page they land on after clicking on your marketing, I say communication. And just to remind you, GA4 is coming, so we have not more, slightly less than a year to switch to GA4. So I strongly recommend to do it. So yeah, so let's start about landing pages, and I'll give you a short introduction how to think about these kind of pages. First of all, the easiest way to understand landing pages is to compare them to regular websites. Here we have this kind of example, so comparison of landing page and sub page within a website that matters or deals with the same service or product, which is mortgage to buy your house, but we'll look closer at this in a while. Second comparison is on one side we have a leaflet, a flyer. On the other side we have like a company brochure or a catalog. So as you can see, a leaflet or a flyer is a very simple, tiny thing with a compressed marketing messaging. So very often it deals only with one product or service. On the other hand, a brochure contains a lot of products, images, statistics, data, all the stuff. So really a lot of everything. So you can clearly see the difference here. And the last comparison, my favorite to be honest, is on one side we have like a lemonade stand. So this represents a landing page, and on the other side we've got a beverage shelf in the supermarket with beverages. So there are a lot of different drinks, labels, prices, discounts, and if you're not, if you haven't decided before approaching to this kind of shelf what to buy, very often you wouldn't buy anything because you would be so distracted with a lot of choices you have that you wouldn't be able to take your decision. When it comes to a lemonade stand, you've got only one product that is being sold at one price, and the only thing you can do the only way you can interact with a lemonade stand is just to approach and buy a glass of lemonade. So really simple call to action, one product, very clear. Yeah, so let's get back to the landing page and the website. So here is a comparison. Sorry because it's in Polish, but you'll get the point here, I believe. So on the one side there is landing page, and the other side there is a website. It's the same product, so mortgage. Let's take a look at the website on the beginning. So first of all, we've got a really big navigation menu, an option to search for something, log in. We've got more offers and you can click on. We've got interest calculator, so you can play with it. And on the end, we have like an enormous footer with lots of links. So really a lot of stuff on this page is going on. It's really hard, to go through all this information and decide whether to buy the mortgage or not, or maybe fill out the form and get more details or not. So let's take a look at the landing page right now. So it's really simple. There is no navigation menu. There is like clear values described here, and only one action that you can take. You can just fill out this form and get a conversation with a salesman about the mortgage. So this is the difference. What do you think, Elliot, about landing pages? What's your experience with landing pages?
As I had a website myself, I felt that I didn't have enough content to fill out a whole website. Obviously, it would be optimized for Google and any search engine. But with a landing page, I feel that the cleaner something is, the less bounce rate you're going to have. You would benefit more if you just wanted to direct them to one particular, your potential customer to one particular thing, rather than go down a rabbit hole per se in a whole website. So they both have their own merits of which one's which, but with landing pages, I personally would keep it nice, clean, and coming from a photographer website background, a landing page would have been much simpler.
That's true. And you can count that the conversion would be, much higher on the landing page.
Much higher, because if people get lost down your website and they just somehow get bored, potentially the bounce rate would be probably higher. Couldn't give an exact figure.
Exactly. Yeah, so let's take a look at how to build an effective webinar landing page. What kind of elements this kind of landing page should have. So first of all, headline, date and time, of course, the benefits. So you have to tell your audience what they will learn, what kind of value they will get out of your webinar, for whom it is designed for. So you can tell about the persona, who will be speaking. So you can introduce the hosts. You can add a countdown timer, a call to action, which is a must-have, and also point out the next step in the process. So let's go through all these. Oh, and the one last very crucial element. So you have to tell your audience during the webinar if there will be a recording of the webinar. So this is a very common question recently. So let's go through the elements. First of all, headline. So probably the majority of you read the first sentence in frame first, and the second one second. So this is what is going on with the headlines on your websites and on your landing pages. So the headline is the first thing your visitor will read. So it should be at least that interesting, or maybe that convincing, that the visitor will take the action right away in the hero section, or at least they will scroll down to learn more about what you have to say. So you have to keep in mind that this first sentence, the headline, is crucial on your landing pages. And here are some examples how you can form your headlines. I've gathered a few examples from different landing pages dealing with webinars. So here we have a case study headline, so how we launch a national ad campaign with Miro. So we can learn more about it. Next example, we are telling our audience what is the know-how they will get. So they will know how to build an anti-fragile marketing organization for B2B SaaS. All right, so clear statement what you will get from attending the webinar. Another example, this is quite long, but of saying what kind of solution you will get after attending the webinar. Another example, how to checklist. So we've got like getting started in SEO, 10 things every SEO strategy needs to succeed, right? So we've got this number of 10, which is kind of eye-catching, plus we've got some kind of solution or how to will be getting after attending this webinar. And our example, so a tutorial, so how to create a landing page based on pre-made template, good practices, so clear value that you will get from attending the webinar. And what I would like to point out by the headlines is that you don't have to think it over by yourself. So you can search for proven to work formulas, just typing in Google like 50 best headlines. You will get on different pieces of content presenting different formulas where with placeholders where you can just input your service name or product name or the values that you offer or the problems that you solve. So it's really good foundation for you to start testing different headlines. So I strongly encourage you to check them out. Next thing, date and time. This is like a must-have when we are talking about events, especially webinars. So be specific. Give the time zone that the webinar will be hosted, because there are some. We were talking about this before the webinar with Elliot. That you should be specific and point out at which hour, in which time zone the webinar takes part. A good practice here is that you can send your audience, if they sign up to the webinar, a link to add to calendar the webinar, so they will knew how or at which time and at which day the webinar will take place in their time zone. So do it. Next thing, what you will learn, so the benefits. What surprised me is that when I was, browsing Polish landing pages, webinar landing pages, this was like better emphasized section or part of the landing page. So with bullet points, you should point out what are the benefits for your audience, why they should join the webinars, how their life will change. You should, point out each value as a bullet point, just, make your audience easy, make it easy to read for your audience, and make a clear statement what kind of value they will have from attending your webinar. Next thing, persona. Actually, this is also another thing I didn't actually find in American or international landing pages about webinars, but in Poland, some of companies, just point out for whom is the webinar. So clearly they address the personas they want to target. So this could also work for you guys. Just test if, pointing for whom is the webinar, if the conversion rates on your landing pages will, grow or not. So this is just a thing to test for you. Another thing, so who speaks? You should be introducing yourself, so the host of the webinar, who will be speaking, maybe give a little short bio, maybe a link to LinkedIn profile, but we have to also remember that adding links to your landing page can lead the traffic out of your landing page. So you should, make them stay in the landing page and fill out the form. This is the main goal here. But, showing the faces, showing the folks, the authorities standing behind the webinar, who will be speaking, who will be sharing the wisdom, the knowledge. This is very important. And I think none of the companies had problems with this kind of section. The countdown timer, also another thing I didn't really encountered during my research, so it was more visible on Polish landing pages. So you can add a timer which counts down to when the webinar starts. It builds a psychological, thinking in the mind of the audience, of the visitor. So how much time is left to the start of the webinar? So maybe I should sign up right now because there's like only 3 days left and I may just easily forget about it. So maybe I should join right now, not to forget it. This could, boost your conversion rates as well. So feel free to test this kind of interactive element on your landing pages. Call to action, very important part, actually the most important, because this is the heart of your landing page. As you can see, I've gathered different examples of forms with different amount of inputs. This is also something I would like to tell you a little bit. So if you take a look at the examples on the right, these forms are really large, having a lot of inputs, which may inflict the conversion rate. So if there are more inputs to fill, the entry barrier is higher. So if a visitor has to fill out all these fields, they may just don't want to do it. As you, Elliot, said, you don't very often like to put your phone number away, so you wouldn't probably fill out this enormous forms. So this is the case here, and you should think about it during the process of building your landing page. Do I need all the data right now? Or maybe I could collect the data later during the lead nurturing process. So answer yourself if it's all mandatory and is all necessary for you at this moment during your lead generation process. On the other hand, if you have this kind of form, very advanced and with a lot of fields, you could easily get better segmented audience right away. So if you get all the info in the beginning, it will be easier for you to send the right messages afterwards to your audience. So you will have the email base already segmented, which is also a nice thing to have. So you should balance it between how many information do you need and how big conversion rate you want to achieve. So this is very important. Yeah, and just to let you know, I also spotted this kind of web form. I bet you can't see the call to action over here. So there's like 5 fields, a checkbox, and a black watch now button which is blurring with the background because it's also dark. So don't do it. The call to action, especially the button, should be very visible. The contrast should be really big. With the background and the color of the call to action, and keep it this way. And the last thing, the next step. So let's say someone already, joined your webinar, signed up. So you should tell them what is the next step afterwards, what is happening right now, what they should do. Never let your audience or your visitor, left alone with no info what they should do next. As I said before, a good practice is to, add a button that they could add this event to their calendars, so they wouldn't, forget about it. So be clear about what's happening next. Give an option to add the event to the calendar. Give a big thanks, to your audience that they sign up. This is also good stuff to do here. And of course, very often after signing up, we receive an email, an autoresponder. As you can see, sometimes Google already formats this kind of messages, so you can add the events right away from the Gmail interface to your calendar. You can also make it a link. And also keep in mind that you should also match the language of the visitor. Take a look at the example in the middle. It's in German. The landing page was actually in English, so it's kind of miscommunication for me because I signed up to a webinar. I thought that maybe it will be in English. Now I have some kind of doubts what will be the language of the webinar right now. So yeah, keep in mind to be consistent about it, and not make your visitor or potential customer to lose a track in the journey. Yeah, and some takeaways or some things you should do or remember after what's happening after the webinar. So first of all, if you send out some kind of links to the webinar, you should maybe one thing, set up a redirection to webinar archives. So if a webinar landing page is out of date because the webinar already took place, some may also come to this link because you were posting this on social media, you were sending emails, all the stuff. So if they go to this link, this traffic could be lost, but you can do something about it. You can redirect to webinar archives, or you can display a pop-up with a form, so saying, "Hey, this webinar is over, but you can sign up for the next webinar, or you can sign up and get a recording." So this way, you will get another lead, maybe who is maybe potentially interested in your services or products. But they were late for the webinar, but you can also serve them your best value. And you can also update the content within the same URL. I call it link recycling policy. So you can update the content, to make it always fresh. So it could be, even using the same link over and over again for different webinars, just updating the content. This is also something, maybe this could be good for your SEO because the link sticks and it's building its authority. Plus, it could be easier for you to manage, all these different webinar landing pages. Yep. So that was about the construction of the perfect webinar landing page. Now let's talk a little bit about the conversion rate optimization. So when I was a kid, I was watching NBA games. One word stick to my mind. It was efficiency. So how many shots were made and how many of them, were good. So this is the same we can do with our funnels, with our marketing, with our landing pages. So let me show you an example of a funnel and how you can improve its conversion rate and efficiency. So first of all, we have a source, whatever. Traffic goes to blog post. There is a banner, maybe advertising our webinar, which drives traffic to the landing page. Someone fills out the form, becomes a lead, and then becomes a client. So first of all, we should measure conversion rate of this funnel, which would be if we get 50 clients out of this funnel, and in the beginning we attracted 1,000 visitors, the conversion rate of this funnel would be 5%. But what is crucial, and you should be measuring all these steps, is how many people go from each step to another. This way, we can create a conversion rate metric for each of these steps. And knowing this, we can control it. So we can tune it, and optimize it. And I will show you how. So this is our funnel with all these steps, and we can see how many people moved from one step to another and what was the conversion rate on each step. So let's say we run an A/B test on the landing page. So we improve the conversion rate from 21% to 25%. So automatically, from the same amount of traffic we got to the landing page, we have more leads, right? Just by improving something on the landing page with an A/B test, we can get more leads from the same amount of traffic. And as you can see, even if the conversion rate from lead to client won't change, this simple change on the landing page could bring you 8 more clients out of the same funnel. So this is how the improvement could be done. And remember, if you make the improvement on the top of your funnel, it will the more you will get on the bottom of the funnel. So this is how it works. So now let's talk a little bit about A/B testing and what you can test, what you should test, what are the ideas of testing. So first of all, you can test the layout. So try different positioning of elements, the visuals, so the graphics or videos, alongside with the content. This is one thing. Second thing, you can test colors. So try to mixing it up. What you should remember about is that you should always test something that is visual. So colors, layout, maybe color on the button, on the call to action. Also, a great thing to test is the headline. I was talking about it on the beginning of my presentation. So this is also another thing worth to test, because this is the first and sometimes the only thing the visitor will read on your landing page. So yeah, keep testing it. Elliot, do you have some experience with testing? What would you say about it?
So not with landing pages directly, but with more like YouTube thumbnails. A/B testing, those are very crucial when it comes to having that clickbaity title or having a more of a in your face but informative, eye-catching thumbnail. So you're more likely to click on a thumbnail with somebody's face that is shocked rather than a picture, a beautiful scenery with a plane flying over it, because it's not that enticing. But you're going to be your curiosity will be piqued when you see someone's face and go, "Oh, why are they so shocked?" Like it's a subliminal message almost in that respect. So yeah, you're right with the colors and headlines, and basically you want, in my opinion, I would like to keep it clean but also eye-catching. So out of those two tests for the phones, I would have the bright red background, because the contrast between the black and the red automatically stands out and draws you in. And then if you had it either on the left or the right, displayed on the web page, yeah, the color there, it doesn't matter which way you place the phone, but if you place the phone on the right hand side on the red background, you're going to be drawn to the darker color first. But if you want to read it from left to right, you would have the photo of the phone on the left, but then it would be the text on the right. But text normally goes on the left, so you can change it up. So that's why that's a perfect example of A/B testing. What works, what doesn't.
Yeah, and it always, it's different. It's not like a golden rule that this should be like this should be like this. You should always be testing.
Always change it up.
Yeah, and checking what works with your audience. So this is an example from our field. So we tested this kind of landing page. This is like ebook download landing page, really simple. And we tested different things. One of them was the layout. So having the graphics on the left won by a few percent, which could resonate really huge in the end result. So if you drive a lot of traffic and you want to collect a lot of leads, this is very important. So even optimizing your conversion rate by a few percent could, improve your results dramatically. So yeah, always be testing. And that's why we also use this kind of layout for our webinar landing pages. And what I wanted to tell you about is that we used the same layout, of course, with different copy, but the same layout for different topics of different webinars, and they all driven different conversion rates at the end. So it's not only the layout, it's also how you message, what messaging are you using, does it resonate with your audience? So a lot of stuff coming in, factoring your conversion rate, whether it's good or not, but you should always be testing. Yeah, and just a takeaway for you guys. So is there a perfect landing page webinar template? The answer is yes, but it's up to you to discover it, because as I said before, all companies are different, all the values they offer are different, the audiences are different. So you should just start and start creating those landing pages. Yeah, and now I'd like to show you. Really quick how you can easily build landing pages in Landingi, and to be specific, webinar landing pages. So we give you guys more than 300 templates. You can filter them by the goal, by the industry, so you can find the perfect one for you. We've got a lot of them, so you should always find what suits you best. Once you pick up the template, I've selected this one, so video webinar. You can edit the landing page with a drag and drop editor, so you can easily modify the placement of the elements. You can change the copy. Right? You can adjust the form. So define what kind of form fields you would like to put on the landing page, what kind of data you would like to collect. And just publish the landing page really quick, and start getting your leads and visitors to the webinar. And the last thing I would like to show you is that we provide a bunch of integrations with different email marketing, CRM tools, and also, what is new, with LiveWebinar. And I would like to give the floor to Elliot, so he will tell you a little bit more about it and how to integrate Landingi with LiveWebinar. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you very much for reintroducing me. It's been fun. So I'd just like to share a demonstration now of how easy and simple it is to integrate between LiveWebinar and Landingi. Get the popcorn out. I hope that was clear for everybody. It's always strange to hear my voice when it's not me actually speaking, like live. So, would just like to hand over to a Q&A session now with Maciej. And I believe there have been some burning questions. I haven't been checking the chat throughout. But yeah, over to you, Maciej.
Yes, hello everyone. Andrzej, Elliot, thanks for this great presentation. I always love to listen to you guys because you have a lot of experience in that field. And I'm pretty happy to see everybody on this joint webinar with Landingi. So I was just chatting with you some times ago. So if you have any other questions, just let us know, because this is the very good time to do that. So I will start the Q&A question. I will start from the bottom. So the Sarah question to us: is the Landingi part of LiveWebinar? I would say unfortunately not, because also as LiveWebinar is a great tool for webinars, that also Landingi is the perfect tool for landing page creation. But we are separate tools. Like, we have the joint integration between these two tools. And I can say, like, from my perspective, like I've been using Landingi for like 5 or 6 years, and I see that this tool is a very good choice for every marketer, for every small and medium business. So I would strongly recommend that brand, and you can also try our integration. So create the landing page for webinars based on LiveWebinar platform. Okay, so question from Jose. So I also read, Jose, that you had problems with audio from this demo video. So like, nothing happened, because everybody will get this recording like after all. So so definitely you will have a chance to watch it again. But strictly about your question, so where do you promote the webinar landing page? This is basically the part of Elliot's presentation, but in a nutshell, like, you have to think about 5 main channels. So social media pages like Facebook, like LinkedIn. It depends, like, what kind of business do you have. Is it like B2C or B2B? Yeah, but also you should think and consider email marketing, because this is the main channel of the promotion. Like, as we've checked in the previous months, like even like 80% of registrants comes from this email marketing channel. But as well, you can think about partnerships with third-party websites, brands, as we today's, like, as we are partnering with Landingi here. So part of our audience is from Landingi contact base, part of us is from our base. Yeah, so this is things that you should consider as well. 2 answers for the questions from Will. So Will asked us about that we are going to provide some pre-made, very basic webinar registration landing pages. So I can say that yes, like, we are working on that. I can't tell you, the specific date about that, but let's stay with us. Let's keep in touch. That we'll announce any new update in our monthly newsletter on our social media channels. So the simple answer is yes, like, we are working on providing that. But also you can think about this integration with Landingi, because definitely, like, with Landingi or any other like landing page creators, you can make more things, like tracking the performance of landing page, etc., make some A/B tests. So anyway, that's also the good option for the people who loves math, loves to optimize everything. Yeah. And the similar question from Alex. So, do we consider any other integration than Landingi? So sorry, Andrzej, but like the honest answer is yeah. Like we are the software as a service company, so we are strongly believe in integrations in ecosystem. So definitely in the nearest future, we will provide this kind of integrations. Again, I can't say the specific date, but currently, like we finished this integration with Landingi, we are pretty happy how it works. And also, again, like I recommend that as a loyal user from the years. So give it a chance, because I think that can be a good choice for many people here. And one more question from Sarah. Will LiveWebinar integrate with other landing page tools? Like I already answered that. Sarah, and any other people, you can give us, the shot on the chat. What kind of tools do you use? Because we want to also check what is the best choice for the next integration. And I want to also say that we are not only integrating with landing page creators, but as well with email marketing providers, CRMs, and you can check our recent Zapier partnership page, because recently we put there some very useful Zap templates for your marketing and your business. So I think you can be very happy using that. Okay, so I can't see any other questions here. Again, like if you have like any other things that comes to your mind, like you are very welcome to just send email to Elliot, Andrzej, or me. We will put our emails to the chat, and I give voice back to Elliot and Andrzej. So thanks a lot.
Okay, so from LiveWebinar and myself, I would like to say thank you for everyone that has stayed until the end, that has participated. Don't forget about that discount code. And Andrzej, any final words?
Thank you all for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking to you about landing pages. I hope you'll be building beautiful and high converting landing pages, hopefully in Landingi. So I strongly recommend to test our software. You can also use a coupon code during the registration process. Name influencer that recommended you Landingi as LiveWebinar, and you'll get 50% off for the first month. So there is a 14-day free trial. Go ahead and test it. And thank you again for listening to us, and hope to see you soon.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.